if your wife dies, for you to get her property, you must prove dependency. You must prove that she was taking care of you. You must show that she was buying you a Tusker, she was buying you the car, she was the one paying rent, she was buying food, she was buying your drugs, she was taking care of everything. Welcome to Court Helicopter Explainer. Today we are doing our Court Helicopter Explainer from Milimani High Court so that Kenyans can feel that we are also mobile. We can do the explainer from anywhere. A discussion about when you die. Can your wife be told to prove dependency after you die so that she can inherit? Do you know, under the Law of Succession Act, Section 29, 1(2), says that if your wife dies, for you to get her property, you must prove dependency. You must prove that she was taking care of you. You must show that she was buying you a Tusker, she was buying you the car, she was the one paying rent, she was buying food, she was buying your drugs, she was taking care of everything for you to inherit that property. Under the Dependence Act, Section 29 of the Law of Succession Act, the general principle is that whenever a man or a husband dies, his wife does not need to prove dependence. The wife, the only thing she needs to bring is a marriage certificate. A biological child, the only thing the child needs to produce is a birth certificate. But children of this man who were brought by another wife, they must prove dependence. They must prove that they were depending on him. Now, which is more outrageous is that even a husband who has been a husband for 30 years, 40 years, if the wife dies, that husband must prove that he was depending. So the marriage certificate does not help men. This was a decision that was challenged in the petition number E416 of 2023, and Justice El Mugambi gave a decision on June 19, 2025. What were the brief facts of this matter? The brief facts of this matter is that a wife died. When a wife died, the context was between who should bury the wife. The people of the wife were insisting that they have a right to bury. The husband has a marriage certificate. The court gave the husband the right to bury. The battle moved from there to who is entitled to the property of the wife or the deceased woman. The deceased woman was endowed with a lot of resources. They used to generate properties together, but also she had her own individual properties. So the question is, are these properties supposed to go to her parent or the husband? She relied on Section 29(2) that says, and I quote, she relied on Section 29C of the Law of Succession, which requires the husband of a deceased wife to prove dependence, while no such condition is required under Section 29A of the Law of Succession Act on a deceased husband's wife. Hence, Section 29C cannot stand constitutional scrutiny. What did the judge say? The said provision is unconstitutional to the extent that it discriminates between the man and woman in regard to intestate succession by expressly requiring the man to prove dependence, in court, to prove dependence, in order to benefit from the estate of the deceased wife, while omitting to impose a similar condition on a wife or wives of a deceased husband. The judge went ahead and gave this order. A declaration is hereby issued that Section 29C of the Law of Succession Act, Cap 160, Laws of Kenya, is unconstitutional, null and void. This judge liberated men. This judge liberated men. And I repeat, this judge liberated men. Remember, all through, the law was not being applied equally as per Article 27 of the Constitution. For a wife, she inherits automatically. For a husband, you must prove dependence. So the judge is asking, what's the difference between a husband and a wife? What's the difference? Gender cannot be the reason to discriminate anybody. So the yoke of men is now over. From Court Helicopter, all the way from Milimani Law Courts, Wakili Dan Senomari. Always a pleasure bringing it to you. Voices of Authority was brought by our crew, Bramwell. Thank you, Bramwell, for good research. You have liberated the men of this country. Thank you.